The views and opinions expressed in these podcasts are those of the speakers and do not necessarily represent the views or positions of the Department of Modern Languages and Cultures or Baylor University. Thank you for joining us today for episode 10 of In Other Worlds, a podcast series presented by the Department of Modern Languages and Cultures at Baylor University in Waco, Texas. In this series, we want to introduce you to research conducted by our faculty members. We want to talk about some programs that we have, and we want to highlight student experiences. We welcome three guests today: Dr. Adrienne Harris, who is Associate Professor of Russian and Co-Director of Slavic and East European Studies. And with her, she has Madeleine Holland, a sophomore at Baylor, and Wilson Smith, who is also a sophomore, and both are completing minors in Russian. Wilson would join us partway through today's podcast. We will begin with Maddie and Dr. Harris. So welcome to you both, and thank you for agreeing to appear on In Other Worlds. Dr. Harris has piloted a program introducing Russian to grade school students in an after-school program. Maddie and Wilson have joined her in that project to help as teaching assistants. In today's program, we're going to hear details about how this pilot project was started and how it has progressed. So we'll just go right into the questions. Dr. Harris, can you give us a brief description of your program? For example, where is it located and who is your target audience?
Once a week on Thursdays, a team of faculty and students have been going into Lake Air Montessori Magnet School on Thursdays for 45 minutes for running a Russian language and culture club. Lake Air Montessori Magnet School is a Title I school in Waco ISD, servicing 700 students ranging from pre-K 3 through 8th grade. And we had about 16 to 24 students over the course of, from October through the end of April.
Okay, so they're in various grades as well, right?
Yes. So in our club, we had students ranging from 4 through 11.
Okay, great. All right. And tell us a little about what inspired you to get this project going.
Okay, so at Lake Air, even on the middle school level, they don't have foreign language. They have dual language Spanish through 4th grade, soon to be through 5th grade, but that is for heritage speakers. And my kids go to the school, and I had noticed that the other kids, when I would speak to my kids in Russian, the other kids were interested. They wanted to learn words. And I mean, going back 5 years. And so at the same time, so I wanted to meet those kids' needs, and I could do it with Russian. At the same time, I wanted to give our students the opportunity to use the Russian outside of the classroom, to develop leadership skills, to service the community, to improve, to strengthen their Fulbright ETA applications. Mm-hmm. And so this project developed as a way to address the needs of these elementary students. And yes, it's just 45 minutes a week, but it's something. I still remember a German song that I learned as a 1st grader. And so if nothing else, these students will hopefully have positive associations with language learning. And maybe with Russian.
It's great. And it also benefits our students as well.
100%.
Everyone wins something.
Yeah.
And how did you go about assembling your team?
Okay. So about a year ago, I brought it up with Maddie over Zoom, and she was super enthusiastic. So she signed up for an independent study and started researching second language acquisition, especially in like K through 8. Mm-hmm. And then we invited Wilson and Victoria. So Maddie is a Slavic and East European Studies major with Russian minor. Wilson is a business supply chain management major, Russian minor, and Victoria is an international studies and Russian double major. Victoria is not with us because she is finishing a semester away in DC. And then Professor Tanya Clark, who has lots of experience teaching elementary students and has mad skills with these kids, joined us.
Great. Tell us a little bit about your approach. What do you try to cover with the students? Just how do you prepare those sessions?
So after the first week, we realized they would need snack. After a long day in school, and some of them have lunch really early, we realized they need snack, and so we figured out how to make snacks somewhat educational, talking about food vocabulary, asking them if they want food, so that time is not lost. And that's actually the single most time-consuming preparation, purchasing healthy snacks and preparing them and bringing them. Other than that, and please interrupt me, we try to have a variety. So first semester, we are really doing it collaboratively. Second semester, we're doing it more by email. Yes. And we try to switch activities every 5 to 10 minutes because of the attention span. Yes. So we read them folk tales in English. Sometimes we'll have a Russian folk tale. We'll include like a Russian word that we, and they can see the Russian, but we're translating it to English. We have Russian alphabet songs. We either have the Russian alphabet or we have like on the screen, or we have like cards where they're holding up the Russian alphabet. You will recognize these as they are yours. We have coloring sheets, because also the children being such a different age range, and also just having different needs and interests. Some of them really love the coloring sheet. Some of them don't care at all. Some of them wanted the whole alphabet. Some of them didn't care about that. We have videos that they like. Yes. Some of them
they love cartoons.
Mm-hmm. They love, and so Maddie has been really wonderful and almost always chooses the cartoons. Sasha, heritage speaker, selected a couple of cartoons for us. She joined us in the spring. We have a freshman who joined us after first semester, Rhea, who is pre-med, and Sasha's another international studies student. We total physical response, which yes, several of those activities, very much Maddie's addition.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Variety, yes. And so we try to have a plan, and then sometimes we have to shift gears when
modify the plan.
Yeah.
Right. Maddie, we'll talk to you now. What was your personal motivation for joining in this project?
So my personal motivation, I have always enjoyed teaching, and I came into Baylor. I chose Russian as my language credit and just loved it. And I thought about teaching is super fun, teaching Russian, and then I was super interested in second language acquisition, how people learn languages. So when Dr. Harris came to me with the idea to teach at Lake Air, it was just this perfect idea to help me figure out how people learn, especially children, and get some firsthand experience in teaching.
That's great. That's great. What do you find is the biggest challenge in this project?
Definitely engagement, keeping the students engaged. Like Dr. Harris said, we try to switch activities every 5 to 10 minutes. There's some things that they really enjoy and some things that they don't. It seems they love interacting with the material. So when we teach them the alphabet, it's a little bit difficult to get them to sit and look at the board and watch
Focus.
us. Yes, let us teach them the alphabet. But as soon as we say, okay, we're going to sing our alphabet song now, most of the children, they love to sing it with us, and then they love the cartoons as well. And I recently made some alphabet cards for matching and memory games, and those seem to go over pretty well. So yeah, just getting them engaged, keeping them interacting with the material is super important, but sometimes just teaching to them can be a little bit of a challenge.
It's very much like what we as professors experience. You can teach 2 classes, the same level, same class, and activities that work in one class simply don't work in the other class. It has to do with personalities of students and how they're feeling that day and lots of other factors. So we all experience that. Thank you, Maddie. We now welcome Wilson Smith to our podcast. Thank you for being here, Wilson. And I'll just go ahead and ask you a question right now. tell us what drew you into participating in this program with Dr. Harris.
Well, besides him asking me, which I greatly appreciate, no, I really enjoy working with kids.
Mhm.
I was a tennis camp counselor in high school, and when I retire one day, I hope to sit there and go into a teaching role at a high school. So I enjoy working with students, with kids. I enjoy the educational component, and I really just love engaging with them. Hearing about whatever they want to talk about. It's
Okay.
just very fulfilling.
Okay. And have you found one particular thing that is a big challenge for you with this project?
Well, I would go down the rabbit hole of keeping their attention. It was either Maddie or Dr. Harris that noted on it before. But it is, I mean, they're tired at the end of the day. They've been
Right.
doing, so on, just go and go and go. And then they're like, oh, well, we get a Russian language club. So it's like, well, they're just tired. And it is always a challenge to keep their attention. We find, the videos and the snacks are a great way to keep their attention and just kind of let them settle into the program. Also keeping the educational component. And yeah, to keep their attention, I found that since a lot of them speak Spanish as well, that you can sit there and, say a quick few things and it just kind of like switches like a little thing in their brain to just kind of focus. I don't know if it's their mother or if it's like another Spanish teacher at the school, but just sitting there saying like aquí or no más, they stop. It's amazing.
You could teach them those same expressions in Russian.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do sometimes
Try,
them, but
you
it doesn't
try.
have the same effect.
Doesn't stick.
We're
always,
working on it.
Right? Dr. Harris, tell us, how have the children and their parents perhaps even responded to this program? And are you planning to continue? Are you creating some kind of demand for this?
Most of them have kept coming, and they seem to enjoy it, and they show up and want to come into the library where we hold it before we're ready to begin. Like school gets out at 3:15, they show up at 3:30. We've had regular attendance. The first semester it was 20, and I think the second averaged 20. Second semester averaged 18. So it's been overwhelmingly positive. When they see me outside of the Russian club, some of them are now hugging me. I mean, they love the students, I think, more than me. And Wilson is extremely popular. We are planning to continue next year. We may increase it by 15 minutes because we had been intending to have 45 minutes of like instructional time. But when we realized that we had to add snack, even just like the moving from outdoors where we need to have snack into the library, even though they're adjacent spaces, it takes time to set up. And so we may have a full hour. I may also, and this is something that I need to discuss with the organizers, but I may ask for 2 spaces so that we can have a space for those who are in the club this year and a space for those who are new learners next year.
Brand new
Yeah.
people,
So,
yes.
and one of the challenges I think is that the younger students also have a harder time paying attention and staying focused than so I mean we have one who is 4, and so that's a real challenge for him to like especially after such a long day. And the younger they are, the earlier their lunch,
Right.
and the more tired they are.
I would imagine too, you have to develop different activities for the older students versus the younger students as well. Yeah.
Yes, yes, of course, because the older ones are more adept at writing and
Right.
can write, and we have one who he is very, very active, but we discovered that he really loves to write. And so once he's writing, so we're learning now what motivates the individual ones now that we've been with them for 6 months.
Cool. So we've come to the end of our time today. I want to express special thanks to our guests again, Dr. Adrienne Harris and students Madeleine Holland and Wilson Smith. They've all taken time out of their schedules from grading and final exams to appear in this podcast today. If you have enjoyed this podcast or other episodes of In Other Worlds, please scan the QR code that you see on the screen and consider making a donation to our Departmental Excellence Fund. Contributions to the Excellence Fund support faculty research and student experiences and enable Baylor to drive tuition costs down. So thank you very much for watching.